vital to have clinical measures that are repeatable and that are consistently rated across different raters and across different sites. So what we did was create electronic versions of our two most popular scales, the MDS-UPDRS and the MDS-NMS, in order to look at those scales and look at the usefulness of electronic versions. We wanted to create our own so that there was stronger consistency across any eCOA version. There were several different parts to the study, but we had industry users, movement disorder specialists, and people with Parkinson's disease use the e-scale. We also had them fill out the system usability score, which is an assessment often used for developing electronic versions. And we had a very high rating from the people with Parkinson's disease. Anything that helps them to report on their own symptoms is very important. With the movement disorder specialists, they weren't quite as impressed, but overall they did like the usefulness, and many said it would be very good for a junior neurologist because we created the electronic version to be used as the paper and pencil is used, which is item by item. And what we found for many clinicians is that they like to go to the last page and fill the numbers.
That certainly maybe is the way the scale is used in clinical practice, not necessarily the way the scale has been validated and it should be used for clinical and particularly in research setting, but that's something that we extract from the participants. So that's also of interest.
So the goal is to both make these different electronic versions accessible and useful and readily available. We review other electronic versions of assessments that come in from industry partners. In addition, we've created red cap versions of almost all the MDS assessments. They've made a number of different translations of all of the MDS rating scales in multiple languages, and they've gone through full validation process of forward, backward translations, reconciliation, through a very formal process to make sure that each of the translations is culturally appropriate for whichever group is using it at that time.